Hello, everybody. This is Sue Frederick, and we're doing our Let's Review Our Soul Plan class. And it's a great blessing for me to take all of you on this journey tonight because I feel like I've just come back from a 4-day conference for Helping Parents Heal, where we spent 4 days in the divine realms together, understanding where souls go after death and what our soul agreements are. And I'm so blessed to have been a part of it. And I'm so blessed. Some of you that I know were there, and some of you that I know are also bereaved moms who I love very much, but we call you shining light moms. And so I don't know if you know, but when I got back, I tested positive for COVID. A bunch of us have. And so tonight, if I start to cough, I'm going to mute myself, but hopefully it won't bother you. I just wasn't going to miss a chance to go on a trip to the divine realms with all of you. So let's start with a pray in. Everybody take a deep breath. And we are lifting our hearts to gratitude, to heartfelt connection with each other, but also with all the divine beings who love us and cherish us and help us on our way. Our departed children, our departed loved ones, my departed first husband, my departed best girlfriend, your departed whoever you have grieved for, and all of our spirit guides, our council of elders. It's extraordinary how loved we are and how guided we all are, even when it does not seem that way. And tonight we are all grateful for this, grateful for the understanding of a higher divine order of God consciousness, always guiding us, helping us, allowing us to grow in exactly the way our souls need to. And our intention tonight is that each of us will receive in this experience exactly what we need to experience for our healing, for our highest good, always led by God consciousness and light, and always connected heart to heart, soul to soul with each other in gratitude. And so it is. So let me unmute you if you have any questions, and then we're going to get going. Ask all. So there's just not enough I can say about this conference I've just returned from. It was 900 bereaved parents helping parents heal. And if you are grieving a child, you should go to the helpingparentsheal.org website and see all the resources they have there. And what I've also found is if you're grieving anyone, you can still go to that website and watch their YouTube videos and their speakers and really feel uplifted to the awareness, the knowingness that this physical world is not all there is. And when we can really marinate in that awareness, it changes everything. It even takes away our health struggles. It takes away our financial worries. It lifts us up to a higher vibration. And tonight I'm lifting all of you there because I was so blessed to be taken there this weekend. And so now I am so grateful that I'm going to guide you all to the divine realms. Because what we find out when we get there, when we leave our bodies at the moment of death, is that there have been spirit guides and angels and God consciousness beings and departed loved ones helping us out down here, even when we felt all alone. And last night, I mean, all week I've been so aware of that after attending the conference. But last night I was coughing because I just found out I have COVID. And last night I was kind of having a rough night sleeping. So I actually called out to the kids from the conference, because when you're around that many departed children in the divine realms and their parents, you feel their presence. And so I just called out to them and said, hey, everybody, including Gail's Jake. Gail is here. Jake is one of my special children. And Christy and the rest of you. I called out to them and said, lift us up, but all of the parents who might now be going through COVID after that conference, help us to not experience that in a suffering, painful way. Just lift us above it. And I, in particular, asked for help to not cough so much last night. And literally within 3 minutes, I felt better. And I slept the rest of the night great, like a great night, and I'm 71. So a great night's sleep is not a common thing. And so I woke up in the morning and my husband, Gene, was like, God, you didn't cough all night. You slept really well. Why is that? You have COVID. And I was like, because I'm connected. I have a posse up there, but all of us are. And we just forget. We get lost down here in the physical world, in the ego viewpoint. You all have a posse up there, and they are all working to help you for your highest good. The only thing you ever have to do is ask, because one of the principles of being human down here, because we drop in to learn and grow and evolve consciousness, is that they can't step in and intervene in some ways that will change outcomes unless we ask. And often when we ask, they can relieve suffering, make us feel better, show us the wisdom of the moment. And sometimes it's possible they can even change something in your life plan that has come up that is challenging. So trust it. Know that you are always loved. You are always guided. And tonight I get to take you on the journey to meet your guides, to meet your departeds, to meet your counsel. So this is a 3-week class. Tonight, what our focus is I'm going to guide you to the realms that we all go to as soon as we cross over. And it was actually described vividly by several of the speakers this weekend, sharing their near-death experiences. I've had it in my own life in this lifetime for even just having a high fever. I've been lifted up and taken there. So I'm going to share and guide you to that. And I'm going to guide you to see who your spirit guides are. You'll see them standing near you. Some people see them as a being of light, not quite able to decipher what they look like. That's okay. And just feel the love that they have for you. Let them love on you. And I'm going to guide you to ask them for guidance. I'm also going to guide you that if you have a departed that you want to see, that they will be waiting for you as soon as you get there with us. And you just walk up and hug them and love on them and kiss their head, kiss their hair. And just know that they're always okay, that life continues, that they're actually way better off than we are down here. This is the hard part. And so you'll have that moment of healing. And then I'm going to guide you to ask questions. So right now is a good moment to think about, if you had your counsel here, who's always guided you between every lifetime, who knows your soul inside and out, what would you ask them about your current situation? What would you ask them about the challenges facing you today? What would you ask them about your future and maybe what your great work is and what you should do about this relationship or this health problem, or if you should move to another place? And then listen, because you will either hear them as an audio or you'll get a sense of knowingness. A lot of this comes to us just in clear, cognizant way, that we suddenly just know something. I felt that a lot this weekend, where we would all be talking about something and all of a sudden all of us would have a moment of clear cognizance where we just suddenly knew something and we had goosebumps all over us. So you may have that experience in this tonight. Trust it, go with it. You also may have a knowingness by feeling emotion tonight through this experience. And that's okay. If it's sadness, that's okay. It's very, very healing to feel sadness when you need to feel it, so you can feel it and release it and heal. So whatever comes up for you in this process is all good and is all okay and serving your highest good. And then I'll even bring you to meet your council of elders. This is a council of the highest evolved souls who work from the highest realms with God to guide all souls to enlightened consciousness collectively. And when you walk, I'll guide you to walk into their space. And when we get there, you'll feel the holiness of it. And again, the council is waiting for you. Think of yourself walking in a courtroom where you can say, this is what I need to know. And the judge or the jury will be there going, well, you're doing really well with this, but here's what you need to work on a little bit, but it's all done with love. So that's the kind of advice they can give you. And you can also ask, and I'll guide you to ask very general questions like, what is my soul really trying to learn in this lifetime? And in particular, what is my arc of learning? I had this fascinating conversation this weekend with one of the speakers. He and his wife, Rick and Beth Olson, another book you can get on Amazon if you're interested. They were driving on a Saturday with their 2 kids in the back seat, going to the hardware store to put up a dog fence for their newly bought little puppy that they had. And a drunk driver ran a red light and slammed into them and instantly killed the 2 children. And today, it's 20 years later, they've had to walk through their pain and their grief, but today they are shamanic healers, really powerful healers and speakers. And I was talking to them about the idea of the arc of learning and how grief is what you would call an accelerant in your arc of learning. So that when you've lost someone you love, it's like the normal arc of learning is kind of like this. And suddenly, if you've lost someone you love, it's just supercharged. And you agreed to supercharged learning in this lifetime. And so ask them how you're doing on that. And for example, I know that in this lifetime for me, my arc of learning is starting as a warrior, because I had been an Apache warrior in another lifetime. I'm 100% sure of that. And that's not really always doing good things in the world. I know I killed people, right? And that's hard. That's not good. And so in this lifetime, moving from warrior to healer. And so when I asked about that, this shaman man was telling me, he said, you had to go through a lot of hard stuff, even to learn to be a warrior in other lifetimes. So don't dismiss it. Being a warrior is awesome. We all have to learn in our own ways and go through our own journeys. So if you feel that in some other lifetime, maybe you've done things that now you would judge harshly, that's okay. Our soul is learning exactly what it needs to learn. And we're all making it to our perfect soul awakening, our perfect soul perfection. And everything that's hard that happens to us is an accelerant to help us get there. So on that note, the main thing to remember in this process, as I guide you through it, is pretend if you're having trouble receiving, do this game in your head where you say, I'm just going to pretend that I'm imagining all this. I'm just going to see a story, make up a story, because what's really happening is, of all the possibilities that your mind could imagine, it is showing you exactly what the story is that's real and true. So for these purposes tonight, our imagination is serving us. It's real. And you can even call it conscious imagination. It has now taken on the role of guiding our spirits. So let it show you. Don't question it. Don't ask this experience to be logical or left brain. Don't analyze it. Go with it. Pretend you're watching a movie, but it's your movie of your life. So tonight we're not doing a past lifetime. We're going to do that next week, because I found that doing this piece of it first really gets you open to it and used to it, and you learn so much. And then next week when we do the past lifetime, you're so open to it already that you'll even have more profound experiences. So, all right, we're ready to go. Anybody have a question before we begin? Okay, I hope you guys can hear me because nobody's talking. Everybody just ready, huh? Good to go? Okay. All right, so I'm going to mute everybody. And I also hope you all have maybe a pen and a paper next to you. If you don't, it might be a good time to get one, because when we come back to Earth, I'm going to ask you to pause for a few minutes and just start writing anything you remember, because if you write it then, you're going to remember it a whole lot more clearly than after some time has gone by. So I'm just going to write this down for me as well to remember to have you guys write when we come back. Okay. All righty. So let's begin. So we are taking a deep breath. And as we inhale that beautiful divine consciousness of our true soul's essence, it washes down through us, infiltrating every cell, making every cell in our body vibrate in a high frequency as we begin to shift beyond the body for this experience. And so that breath of divine consciousness washes through the body, easing your transition to a higher consciousness and releasing from the bottom of your feet any human ego attachments or stories or desires, so that you are open to the experience. And now we see a purple globe of light above everyone's crown chakra. Purple is sacred color, a color of healing and calm. And as this purple globe of healing light moves down through the top of the head, it washes through your mind, erasing any anxiety, erasing any fear, relieving any tension, all the worries of the physical world and the physical earth journey, all just being released and spun out with this purple sacred light. This purple sacred light washing down through the face, relaxing the eyes, the mouth, the cheeks, the jaw, all the need to talk that we have in this world, all just relaxing and calming and letting go. And the throat that holds our words and allows us to speak our truth, we just relax it, let it release and open. And the purple light goes through the chest and opens the heart chakra to be able to receive that divine love more powerfully than ever, and to give that divine love more powerfully than ever. And this purple light moves down through the rib cage, loosening up all the ways we protect ourselves. And then moving down through the abdomen, where we hold so tight to try to be perfect in this world. Just moving through that, releasing it, opening it, knowing that we're all exactly perfect as we are, learning exactly what we came to learn. And now this purple light moves down through the hips, moves down through the strong legs that have carried us through so many hard moments, so many challenges, just being grateful for those legs and relaxing all of those muscles, the upper thigh, strong muscles that have held us up. And now the knees that give us flexibility and capacity for movement, opening and relaxing. And then the calves that carry our very strong ability to walk, to run. Just shake them out, feel them relaxing. And the feet that ground us to this earthly life, shaking them out, relaxing. And now through the bottoms of the feet, letting all earthly tension release through the bottoms of the feet. And one more, we are seeing this golden globe of light above our heads. The golden globe is the reclaiming of our true divine essence as souls, the color that we achieve as we cross back over to the divine realms. And so this golden globe of light now pours down through the head, just like a drink of cool water, like, yes, I remember this. I remember this love. I remember this ease, this grace, this golden light now washing through the face, replacing every earthbound cell, muscle tissue, bone, skin, everything replaced by this golden light. And now moving it down, all the bones that hold you so strong, being released into this golden light. And now down through the rest of the body, the golden light shimmering and washing through, relieving us of any disease, of any tension, of anything in the body that holds us here to the earth. And so now the golden light moves down further through the legs and releasing all negativity through the bottoms of the feet. Now right in front of you, you see this golden stairway with 10 steps leading up to the tunnel that we've traveled between lifetimes. So grab hold of the handrail and see that staircase and take one step up, knowing that with each step, you leave your body a little more and move more into your soul's consciousness of the higher realms, your true essence, your true home. Moving up to step 2. Body aches are leaving us because we're moving up higher in the energy field. Step 3, step 4, step 5, we're halfway there, free of the body. And step 6, step 7, step 8, step 9, step 10, we are now at the top of the staircase and we are moving through this tunnel. We've seen this tunnel. We've been through this tunnel between every life. And there is golden light at the end of it waiting for us, calling us. And meanwhile, we are not alone in this tunnel. Just look and see who's there to greet you, to walk through it with you. Your departed loved ones, your ancestors, all the people you've longed for who've gone before you. They're coming to you in ways that you recognize and know them. And take their arm, kiss them hello, hug them. Just take a moment to tell them how much you love them. Feel their love for you, their eternal love. Love is eternal. And even if you may have had harsh moments in the relationship with someone when they were on earth, right now they only appear as their highest and best self, as you are too in this moment, and everything is forgiven. Everything is love. And so we all take each other's arms and we walk through the tunnel. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Oh my gosh, it's so good to be home. We are where we belong, what we are made from. And so we move out into the divine realms that we are so familiar with, vivid colors. Some of them are buildings, some of them are beautiful trees and creeks and valleys and an ocean. Just look around at the beauty. It's so much richer, deeper, more vivid than on earth. and it feels like home. And so now you can see this gathering. There are beings walking towards you. These are familiar beings to you. And all you feel as they move towards you is love from them, love and wisdom, like they know you to your core. And they've known you since you were a cell just beginning the journey of vibration. And they're so proud of you, like you are their child, because you are. They've guided you in your darkest moments when you've cried out for help. They have brought you guidance and wisdom, given you ideas of what to do next to help you. And now see them. Let them and the vision of them unfold in front of you. Count how many there are. Ask them their names or what you should call them. And now they're taking you to this outdoor circular gathering place. It's sort of like a place where everyone sits down on these steps that go in a circle. Your departed loved ones are there. Those spirit guides are there. And everyone's just very calm and at ease, filled with love. And right now you can reach out to your departed child or your departed spouse or your departed parents or siblings and ask them a question. You could ask, why did you leave the way you did? And listen to their answer. And you can ask, did you suffer? And listen. And now look to your spirit guides and ask, how am I doing on my journey? What is it that I'm trying to learn in this lifetime? And listen. Say yes to whatever they ask you to do more of when you're here on earth. They may give you a list of things you need to do, you need to work on, or you need to love more, or you need to believe in the divine realms more. Whatever it is they tell you, just smile and accept it and say yes. Ask them how you can be more aware of their presence in your life. Ask them how they want you to reach out to them. Is it prayer? Is it meditation? Is it automatic writing? Is it walking in nature? Ask them the best way to hear them or to know what they're saying to you. Ask them if there's something in your life right now that's holding you down from growing, holding your vibration down, and how you can change it or fix it or what you need to do about it. And listen. Ask them to help you with that. Ask them what you should be doing more of in order to move closer to fulfilling your soul potential, your soul mission's true goal here in this lifetime. What should you be doing more of to do that? If you have a health problem, ask them if they can heal it right now, right in this moment, to heal you. If you're heavily grieving, ask to be lifted from some of your grief so that you can be more open-hearted as you heal and move forward. If you feel that you're not sure what your purpose is in life now, ask them to make that very clear to you. And if they can't tell you right now in the moment, tell them you'll be taking notes later on before you go to bed, and they can pour it through your writing then. Ask them how you can be more aware and awake to your true essence as a soul on a journey rather than just a physical being in a physical world. It's their job to help us remember that when we're down here. Ask them to help you right now. If there's anything about your future that you're concerned about, ask them if it's okay if they show you a resolution to that problem in the future and what it looks like. And now everyone is standing up from that gathering outside in the divine realms, and you can look around and see all the beauty there, all the healing energy of that higher vibrational journey up there. And now your spirit guide, we are asking your primary spirit guide, who's always been there for you, to guide you, to step forward. And so they are, your primary guide is stepping forward and taking your hands, your arms, and blessing you. And you can look at them and deeply and just feel their love. And now they are taking you on the walk towards the dome building, the very large circular dome building where the Council of Elders meets. And there's a very high vibrational sacred energy in this dome building. This council gathers just for you between every lifetime. This is where your life plan gets approved. So this is a really good place as we begin to walk closer to the door, that you think about how you're doing on your life plan and what your arc of learning is, and be prepared to ask them those questions as we walk in. And now we're walking into this sacred space. Take a moment to look around and see it takes form for you. And look and see how many people are in your council of elders. Everyone has a unique number of council. You can just see who they are and recognize them because they recognize you. And they may ask you to sit at the table, or they may ask you to stand with them. Whatever it is, listen and go along with them. And now one of them may be a leader of the council. Look and see if you can tell who that is and what they look like. And ask them if you can ask questions now. And if they say yes, then you just ask about the purpose of your life plan in this journey and how you're doing with it. And you can ask, why did I make it so hard? What am I trying to learn? Or whatever question comes to your heart. And listen to what they say. Ask them what your arc of learning in this lifetime is. Ask them if there's one quality that you have that is hindering you. If they could reveal what that is. It could be stubbornness or closed-mindedness or anger. Whenever you're hurt, maybe you go to anger instead of feeling the pain. We all have these certain patterns for survival. So ask them which of those is most detrimental to your growth. And as they show it to you, they may show you a scene from your life where you used that trait and it didn't serve you or your growth. And now ask them to help you change that and shift it. So it is no longer one of your patterns that stops you from growth. And any other questions you have, now is the time to ask them. You can ask, what is my soul agreement with my departed loved one? Why did they have to leave me? And what am I trying to learn from that? You can ask, what is my soul agreement with my current partner or living child? And what am I trying to learn from that soul agreement? Ask them what your soul agreement is with the person in your life who you have the most challenging relationship with, and what you're trying to learn from that. Ask the council what your best quality and best trait is that always helps you and always serves your highest good. It could be generosity of heart, it could be kindness. Ask them to show you what it is so that you can do more of that. Ask that right now in this meeting of the Council of Elders, that with all of their power and grace, they remove something from your consciousness that may be holding you back. Maybe it's a deep trauma, a deep wound that you're having trouble letting go of, moving through yourself, healing. Ask them to lift it from your heart so that you can fulfill your soul mission for the rest of this lifetime. And now, if you're ready, you can thank them. Ask them if they have any parting words of wisdom for you. And you can leave the dome area and emerge back into this beautiful realm of divinity, illuminated with God consciousness everywhere. And now, as you gather with your spirit guides and your departeds, ask them any questions you have left in your heart. Make any request that you want to make. This is your moment. And now, thanking them all profusely, we'll all move towards the tunnel of light. And you can say goodbye here at the opening of the tunnel, so that as you walk back through the tunnel by yourself, you're getting readjusted to moving back into your body and into the physical world. And so you thank them, tell them you love them. And then when you're ready, turn and walk through the tunnel. back towards the top of the staircase. And as we move through the tunnel, we're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. And now you're at the top of the staircase, grabbing hold of the railing and taking hold of it. And knowing that as you move down each step, you are returning to your body, returning to this physical life, but you will remember everything that happened, every piece of guidance and wisdom that you received will stay in your conscious mind. And so now you move from 10 down the steps, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, feeling back into your body, 2, and 1. And now shaking out your body, feeling your energy, fill it completely, moving your head, taking a deep breath. And while you're still in this state of higher consciousness, get your pen and paper and try to write down anything you remember from that experience, even if it's a word, an image, a lingering feeling. Just write it down so that you can remember it. And you can keep writing, and I'm going to put you into some breakout rooms where you can talk to each other about what your experience was and make sure that everyone has a chance to share. And I'll jump in and out of the different rooms to answer any questions. So how was that experience for you all? Suzanne?
It was nice to see my mom. And one of my dear friends departed more recently, and she and my mom were kind of together. And the council, there were a few names that came out or that I heard, one of which I forgot, and I'm okay with that. And I got really drowsy, which I've done some of this work, so it's not like it's beyond the realm of possibility for me. Like I'm very open to it. But it was really interesting that I thought I took care of that nap earlier today. I'm just saying.
But you have to trust that even though you were drowsy, your soul was still having the experience and taking from it what you needed.
Thank you. I'm gonna go with that. And I had two questions, and I received just a yes to. I mean, I had several questions, but I heard yes to two of them, which was gratifying to hear. Yeah, it's really sweet space. And the vibration, when I feel the other side, what happens is my face vibrates. And so as soon as I got on the call today, before we even started, I'm like, oh, here we go.
Here we go.
It's like, yeah, my face, and I can't. And it's kind of interesting because if I'm gonna channel, my lower part of my face will vibrate, but if I'm receiving from higher realms, the upper part of my face will vibrate, and that's what was vibrating today. It was just like, okay, so I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Thank you very, very much.
Oh, that was a beautiful share. Thank you. And Taylor, do you want to share? Can you unmute?
Hi. I guess the big takeaway is how difficult it is for me to connect, and I see that that's difficult here with people on Earth, and so there's maybe some connection there that once I can heal and connect better with people on Earth, then maybe I can connect better in the spiritual realm.
Well, I think they were connecting with you and sending you love. And maybe the problem is you letting yourself receive that love. And maybe they can help you heal that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. And Carrie?
Yes. Well, it was a little difficult for me. I saw my mom and my dad, but they were not together. They were each on separate sides of me. But what I mostly got out of the elders was that I am more than my depression. I've been having a lot of trouble with depression and illness and fear surrounding that. And interestingly, instead of saying, look within, which is what people so often say, look within for the answers, this time they were saying, look out at the world and look outside yourself and what you can do out in the world, rather than
really
just
good.
dwelling within and not getting out there. So that was kind of different.
That's really good, because I know that helping somebody, whether it's just helping a friend or going and being a volunteer somewhere, it does get us out of our head and it opens our heart. Yeah.
Right.
That's
And I'm
beautiful.
retired, so that would be a very good thing for me to do.
And plus the world is still so isolated, I mean, everybody, I don't know if you heard, but I got COVID from a big conference last weekend. So I'm paying the price for going to a big conference, but it was worth it, for me. But still, now I got to isolate.
Take a risk.
And now I got to isolate for 10 more days, so it's a different world nowadays. But I also think the isolation is part of our growth as well, because that was my cat, sorry. Turning within and having to be alone forces us to deal with things that we can run from when we're out in the world being busy. And I think you being aware that you have anxiety and aware that you have fear you're dealing with is so powerful, because once we're aware of it and we can feel it, we can heal it. It's when we don't run from it, when we don't feel it, when we run from it, when we try to distract ourselves, that we just aren't growing.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. And Cora, what about you?
Hello.
Hi.
Well, I had a little trouble receiving. I feel like I didn't really receive any specific answers to the questions. I got so caught up in the beginning about like seeing their faces and seeing what they look like visually that it threw me totally off.
Oh, babe.
Yeah. However, I haven't really lost anyone in this life other than my grandparents when I was young, and
Mhm.
it wasn't a super significant relationship. So
Mhm.
I randomly, in my tunnel of departed, I randomly saw a little boy. Like he was like
Oh,
4, and I have no idea who he is or if it was
wow.
real. I don't know.
No, let's just go with he was real. And at some point you'll find out who that soul is, because they're part of your posse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was very cute.
It could
I
be
don't have children or
I
anything.
was gonna say it could even be a future child, you know?
Wow.
I met my daughter before she came to me on Earth. And
Really?
yeah, she came in a dream, and I flew into a house, and I was 43. I'd never been able to get pregnant. And I flew into this room and I saw this little girl standing against a wall, and she had blonde hair and brown eyes. And I just knew I'd known her forever, that we were eternally always connected, and I like flew up to her and I said, "Are you my baby?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "You're going to be a girl?" And she said, "Yes, this time." And I said, "And what is your name?" And she said, "Something soft like Sarah." And her name today is Sarah. She's 29. And then I said, "Oh," and I just saw her as a soul. And I said, "I just want you to know I really, really love you." And she dropped her childlike demeanor and looked at me in this huge ancient soul way and said, "And I really, really love you." And then I woke up and I said, "I'm pregnant. I'm having a baby, and it's a girl, and her name is Sarah, and I know what she looks like." And everyone thought I was crazy. And 9 months later, I gave birth to
Oh my.
her. Even
You were
my
actually
husband,
physically.
her dad was like, he believed in my dreams, because anybody who's ever been with me knows you don't question Sue's dreams, because they always come true. But he was like, "Sarah, like, I'm not sure I like that name." So I had to play the game for 9 months of looking at names and talking about names, but all along I knew it was Sarah. And then when she was born, he looked at her and went, "It's Sarah."
Wow.
So trust those little images
That's
like
amazing.
that, even if you don't know what they mean. All right, sweetie, I'm gonna go see if anybody else. You guys just keep talking for a minute. Actually, I think I'll bring everybody back so we can, yeah. This way we can all get together in the big room.
You're muted.
And I forget that when we come back in breakout rooms, come out of a breakout room, we are always muted. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Melissa, are you there, sweetie? So unmute yourselves, you guys. Christy, how are you?
I'm good.
Are you recovering?
Yeah. I went to Sedona with 10 other women from the
Oh,
conference for a couple
wow.
days.
That must have been
Um,
wonderful.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did
And
a healing session with a shaman that was really
oh,
beautiful, and just had we laughed. I haven't laughed that much and I don't know when. It was
oh gosh, I wish I'd been with you, except that I would have given you COVID apparently, because now I have COVID.
I was
another
just
time.
telling my group, Sue, I gave you a hug at the conference. So.
That's right. That's right.
But it's
Well,
okay. It's worth it.
but it's weird because like Beth and Rick Olson were telling me that Rick is sick. Now he has it and Beth doesn't.
Mhm.
So it just, it's weird. You just can't know who's going to have it or not
No.
have it.
I had it back in 2020.
Mm,
But yeah, but it was an amazing conference.
wasn't
Just
it?
yes,
I
it was
wish.
awesome.
How many of you raise your hand who were at that conference, the Helping Parents Heal conference this weekend?
Virtually. I did the virtual part.
Gail, hey Gail.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was such a vibrational shift, wasn't it? I mean, I
Mhm.
haven't touched the earth since then, really. It was such a amazing thing. So, I just wanted to hear how that experience went for you. I was in a breakout room with some people and they were sharing, some of them did feel that they could see their counsel and they got some guidance, and some of them, weren't sure. So where does it live with each of you? Did you feel you got something helpful from it? Anybody like to go first? I'll call on you then.
I can go.
Okay, Angie.
Hey, so I was telling my group I did see loved ones. I mean, it's not like a real. It wasn't completely clear, but yet I knew who each person was.
Mhm.
So grandparents, my mom, my son, and was able to kind of hug them and see them when we initially started. As far as spirit guides, it's like I knew who they were, but yet I couldn't see. I couldn't make out. I know there were maybe males and females, but I don't
Mhm.
know exactly. I didn't see faces.
Mhm.
And then I felt like when we got to the elders, I had a number 5. Like I felt like there were
5
5.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, I didn't see like clear faces. I
Right.
just felt a presence of 5.
Right.
And then I did ask about my son's passing and what I got, and again, it's not a hearing, it's
Right.
that,
It's a knowing.
the words are dropped into my head, kind
Right.
of like it's maybe not me thinking it,
Right.
was just what I
Claircognizance.
got. Right. What I got was had to do it for growth for all of us, meaning because he has siblings, my 2 other children and my husband.
Mhm.
And then I was telling my group a few times, unconditional love came through, like
Aw.
for growth or just, continuing to learn about, or
Mhm.
just overall unconditional love was just a term that kept coming up.
Mhm. Mhm. That's beautiful, Angie. Thanks for sharing that.
Thanks.
Anybody
enjoyed it.
else? Bobby? How are you, Bobby?
It's been a long time.
It has been.
Yeah. I lost my 7 closest friends in the past 4 years,
Oh my goodness.
and 2 last week, and then the rest the past 4 years, and I've been holding on to the grief.
Oh, baby.
One of them has dropped feathers in front of me every single day, and then my mother's come back as an orange butterfly, and for 20 years she's zooming in on me. And when I moved to Mexico, she came up in the curtain rod when I walked into my house.
Oh, that's so good.
Be there, but they were all loving me, and I stopped the joy at times, and they kept on saying, be joyful, we love you.
Oh.
And I'm stuck. I'm stuck right now. So I didn't ask my guides.
But
Two of them
it's
died.
okay, Bobby, because you've got to grieve,
Yes, but but my most important guides both died last week. And they were the really my spiritual guides. And it was their time and I know it, but I miss everybody.
Yeah, sweetie. Well, we're all just wrapping you in love right now because we all understand grief. And, you know, when you're in the raw parts of it, as you are, Bobby, it's okay to just feel the pain. You've got to feel it to heal it, you know?
Yeah.
We all know that, all of us who have grieved and all these beautiful parents who've lost children, you know, it's not like you're going to joyfully walk that path of grief every day.
Yeah.
But every now and then you might see a sunset that brings your heart back to joy, or feel the presence of that departed that opens your heart again.
Well, tonight, I see the sunsets are incredible, but tonight before I was starting, I knew this was where I had to be right now and the work I have to do. And the sky was so pink,
Aww.
so blue. It was just, I've never seen the sky like that in 6 years. It was miraculous. It's like everything just opened up.
And that's your sign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Anybody else want to share?
Hi, Sue. It's Lynn. Hi.
Hey,
I
Lynn.
just want to say I can see an orb behind Bobby when she was speaking.
Oh, Bobby. There's an orb behind you. That's beautiful. And Lynn, how was your experience tonight?
It was really good. I've done things like this a lot over the years, but this time it was different. It was more real. Other times I felt like I was forcing and kind of making stuff up.
Right.
And this felt just more real to me.
That's
so
good.
Thank you for that.
You know, it's sort of like once we allow ourselves to trust it and to not question it, not push it or force it, it really opens a portal for us to just be more receptive in our daily lives to the signs and the synchronicities. And, you know, Christy and all of us, we were at this conference where it was constant signs and constant synchronicities, and I mean, mind blowing for 4 days. And so ever since I got home, I've still been in that open space of seeing and believing and trusting instantly. But it's hard to stay that way here in this physical world, you know, because we get pulled down into the drudgery and the problems and the bills and blah, blah, blah. And now I have COVID, you know, so the physical world is really, a fierce teacher, because we have to constantly be intentionally trying to see beyond what just appears as real here and see a deeper meaning, a higher understanding. And that's not always easy. But that's where daily meditation, daily prayer. Did any of you get a clear answer to the question about how can I more clearly embrace and believe in my divine consciousness or God consciousness and make that more a part of my life? Did anyone get an answer to that? Well, yes, Marcia?
I did. It was very clear. I'm to meditate every day and then to write.
And to write. That's a great combination, meditation and writing. Beautiful. Beautiful. Good to see you, Marcia.
Good seeing you, Sue. Heal quickly.
Yes, well, you're the shining example of healing quickly. You've been through so much and you're still such a shining light.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And Melissa, are you here? Can you hear us? I don't know why I can't hear Melissa. Because she's an old friend and I haven't seen her in a while, and I was really looking forward to seeing her, but who knows what happens? Technology has its way. So anybody else? Corey?
Yes, thank you. My experience, I felt that it wasn't like visually crystal clear, but I felt more meditative, and I was walking through it. I felt at some point the tunnel and then the dome. The words that came up were more of a whisper, and it's interesting because they're words I've heard before, and it evolve around self-love, connection, enough, and joy. So those are the words that came up. And I did notice during it, my mouth got really dry. So all of a sudden, my mouth got really dry, and I realized my throat got sore. So I'm not sure around that, but
I hope I didn't give you COVID.
no. So I don't, it was really odd. I thought, like what was going on there, but it's fine now. So but interesting. It was, the words were beautiful, and feel like it's what I needed to hear and connect to.
Well, even though I was guiding this experience, I got really strong messages and answers and insights. And, usually that doesn't happen when I'm guiding a group. So I feel like that's partially because you all are so evolved and so high vibrational, that it just helped shift the whole thing. Gail, baby girl, how are you?
I'm good.
Gosh,
I'm
I
good.
love you, honey.
I hope you feel better.
Well, I am. I will. I do. I am.
Yeah.
So Gail was with me. I was on the phone with her from the day one of the conference because she couldn't be there. And I was telling her, I'd be saying, oh, I just went to this and I just talked to so-and-so. And we were like,
Yeah, she was there for me I was living vicariously through Sue.
And I told you I saw Vanna, right? And I got to hug her.
Yeah, she posted and then I saw the picture. So I'm so glad you got to give her a hug.
Oh gosh. And Jake, your beautiful Jake, I felt him so much. He was definitely part of the gang there. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a part of that. No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
So how did this go for you tonight?
It was good. I was surprised when I first went through the tunnel. My grandmother was there, and I don't usually think to connect with her. But then I saw Jake there, and so I've done things like this before, so it was familiar. But when the one thing that was pretty clear was part of my lessons of what I wanted to learn in this lifetime was to overcome my fear of failure.
Oh.
And I heard the message, let your desire to serve be stronger than your fear.
Oh, that is so good.
Yeah.
That is so good.
That's what I have to be more aware of. I know this is a lifetime of great growth, and that the whole thing with Jake is all part of that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He's a supercharged accelerator.
Yeah. And I also heard that too, that in this lifetime, I needed to do a catch up to him.
Right.
Yeah. If that makes sense.
Oh, it does. Because I know I'm trying to catch up to people in my posse that accelerated faster than me. And so I'm trying to catch up.
So he didn't need to be here long because he was here for this purpose.
Yeah. And you are making him proud, Gail.
Trying.
You are. All right. Anybody else?
I had very similar messages from that Corey and Gail both had about connection and joy and releasing fear. And one of the things I asked was, why is this lifetime so hard? And the message I got was, this life is no harder or easier. It is all about perception.
Oh, wow. That is so great. I need to write that down and read it every day, right?
Yeah.
That is beautiful, Christy. You got to write that down.
I did. And it also, another one that I want to share is that said, They said, follow your joy and that will lead you to your purpose.
Yeah. And that whole idea that it's not harder or easier, it's all about perception. Oh my God, that's so true. And so, I mean, we do perceive that the loss of a child is the hardest loss ever, but we can also look at it as the greatest soul gift ever from the child, and shifting that perception helps us, even if when, like this weekend, that was a lot of what the shifting was, to see the gift of the loss and what we were learning and growing. I saw some father posted on Facebook. He said he and his wife after the conference were talking, and they said, why does it take such traumatic, devastating loss to force us to be here, having these conversations, exploring these ideas, seeing that life goes beyond death? Why can't we just figure that out when things are easy? And in that question is the answer, I think, really, is that we could, but we kind of just don't bother with it. We just get caught up. Let's go to breakfast, let's go for a vacation. And those are all great things. But when we have devastating loss, our focus gets pinpointed on trying to learn and grow and understand, like a laser focus. And that's when the accelerated growth happens. So I think I've heard from everybody. It's so ironic, except my friend Melissa, who I really wanted to hear from, who's here, but I can't get her unmuted.
Oh, there she is.
There you are, Melissa.
Hi, I am here. And
Gosh,
hi,
I
Sue. It's
miss
good to see
you.
you. It's
Yes,
really good to see you. And
so
I just have to apologize to you and everyone else because I was solo parenting tonight. So I was putting my son to bed.
I figured, yeah.
And it's not the kind of workshop you can really jump
Yeah.
in. But I'll watch the replay and I'll catch up and I'll be here next week.
Okay, well, I'm just so happy to see your face again. Oh, I miss you.
It's really good to see you too.
And how old is your son now?
He is 9.
Oh my gosh. Oh
Mhm.
my, he's like a man now.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a tween.
Wow, that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, any other questions before we sort of close out and I tell you about what we're going to do next week? Okay. And I always have this challenge in what to do, because if I send you the recording tonight, that's good because you guys can listen to it again and do it in your own time when you're alone in bed with your pen and paper and probably have a much more deep experience. However, what I found is that if I do that, then some of you won't come next week because you'll just be waiting for the recording. And so that changes the energy because not as many people are here for the live interactions and the whole deal. So I haven't decided if I'm going to send it out tonight, but I can guarantee you that at the end of 3 weeks, I will send all of them. But I just want the energy to continue here, and I've just learned the hard way that if everyone knows there's a recording, they would just maybe rather go to bed than than come into class. And I feel like our souls are needed in the class to guide it in the ways it needs to go for all of our growth. Does that make sense to you all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next week, we are going to dive into a past lifetime. I'm going to guide you through it. And those are profound, especially for grievers. I've worked with a lot of grieving moms on these past lifetime journeys, and it's just phenomenal how you will meet your departed child from another lifetime, and they're a totally different relationship with you than mother-child, and it's so illuminating. So be open to that next week. It's very healing, very powerful. And also the whole idea of life purpose and how we move forward. First of all, I'm wondering if any of you got an answer to that tonight in your journey. Well, next time, I think when we do the dive into the past lifetime, one of the things we can ask after we see the lifetime, because we're asking to see a lifetime that has significance for where we are in this lifetime. So if you're seeking meaningful work or purpose moving forward, you may be shown a lifetime where you did have that. I had a client once who felt very kind of lost in this lifetime, and she saw that she had been a nurse in a previous lifetime in a small community and was so well loved and helped so many people, but she got sort of fried and burned out at the end. And so this lifetime, it was okay for her to take her time to find her true work, because she was a powerful healer and she needed to get into that casually and slowly and with not as much exhaustion as she had in her last lifetime. So those kind of little insights are so helpful. So that's the kind of thing we'll be doing next week. So meanwhile, if you have any questions this week, please email me. You all have my email. I have COVID, but I think I'm doing great. I started the antiviral today, so I think I'm going to be feeling just fine. And I really look forward to seeing all of you next week. So let's do a quick little pray out. We just close our eyes and just feel the gratitude, the love, the healing that is available to all of us at all times, every moment of every day. And we ask to be lifted into the awareness every day of how loved we are by the divine spirits, how loved we are in our own journeys, no matter whether we feel it and can receive it or not. That love is still there for us. And so we are grateful for that love, for that guidance. And all we ask is for the divine departed and the spirit guides and the council to help us feel that love, so that we don't have that heart-aching feeling of being alone. Instead, we feel wrapped in the universal, unconditional love that is our true nature. And so it is. Thank you all. See you next week.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you
Hope
so
you
much.
feel better.
Thank you, Sue.
Feel better.
Thanks, Sue. Good to see you. Take care of yourself.
So good to see you all.